around October 2024 last year. That was the same month I made my first 20, first 30, first 40, first. Then that was I did everything in 1 month. No, it's not like it was so easy to do. It was just that I had this mindset of I'm way too knowledgeable to be where I am right now. Like this thing of with the kind of knowledge I have, I'm not supposed to be here. Do you understand? A lot of people that have less or that know less than I do are doing better. So I'm not supposed to be here right now. So I want to actually keep pushing myself to like, and I don't even mind if I take countless losses trying to scale up. All I know is that eventually when I get it right, just one single trade that I make after getting it right can literally cover up all the losses I had while trying to get to the level I want to attain. So, like I said, before I started trading Forex, I heard about trading for the first time in 2021 December. I got introduced to Binance and everything. I paid someone, I'm not going to say his name, but I paid to join a signal group. The guy is very good. He's a crypto trader, but he trades mostly fundamentals. So when I paid 55,000 naira, I was added to the group. Back then, 55,000 naira was about 100 and something dollars. No, around $150. I got added to the group. I started taking my trades in 2022. Back then, I had $10,000 that I had saved up from developing websites for people. Around the month of September, I made about 10K. It was about 4 point something or 5 million naira then. So I had it saved up. So the next year, 2022, January, I funded it in my Binance account. Then, if you're trading, they have what they call cross margin and isolated margin. So I had it on cross margin, and there was a huge dip that happened on the crypto market around that period. So most of the tokens that were long in BNB, Bitcoin, everything, were at me. I was already a risk taker. The first trade I took, I was already making about $100, $200 because of my leverage. In crypto, you use leverage like 2x, 10x. I was using 25x, 40x to take trades. I had no knowledge of anything. I couldn't calculate my stop loss, couldn't calculate my leverage, nothing. So this was back when I was still in 300 level. That was when this happened in school. So in school, in January of 2022, I lost, when the whole dip happened, I lost the $10,000. So that was my very first week or very first month of trading. I didn't know how to analyze. I just used the signal that someone gave me. But the person that gave us the signal is rich, you understand? He makes money from crypto. So I was like, if this person could do this, if this person could attain this level of wealth, because then it seemed like a lot to me based on $10,000, $20,000. It seemed like a lot to me because I knew how many websites I had to develop to make about $10,000. In a month, I had to develop about 15 websites. So I have to code the first one. So I have to save up a lot of money that I made from gigs to get $10,000, and it was stressful. So I felt like if I could do this and just few hours of work and make this amount of money, that beats the whole thing of coding all day. You understand? So that was my whole ideology then. When I lost that money, depression came. I was in uni. I had a girlfriend. So all those things based on uni days. You have to go to. Well, I didn't really attend lectures much because my course is computer science, and I was already a computer programmer. So I only attended exams, and I would write well, and I would leave. I would still pass. But the whole thing of I stopped cooking when I started seeing money as a programmer in school. I haven't cooked since 2021, and then I buy food daily. I buy fuel. The lifestyle I already kept myself at based on my programming level. I had to still maintain it while losing money as a trader. So I was constantly losing money. When I lost that 10K, I said, okay, I have to get my money back. There's no way that I'm going to leave this trading thing until I make this money that I lost to this market. But when I lost that money, I never had that level of okay collective wealth again, because the first thing, the starter kit for beginner traders, I have to make money. So any money you get from whatever you get the money, deposit it and try and trade with it. That was the basic default settings for me. So if I get gigs to develop a website for someone, let's say they pay me $300. Once that money lands my account, I'm depositing into straight to my trading account. I'm losing everything. I have to now borrow money to buy domain and hosts to develop the websites for those people, pay for the PDFs, get the everything. So I'm constantly getting into debt, but I was constantly seeing money as well. Like I was seeing money constantly. I can have my monthly. As of 2022, My monthly debit can be 20 million, inflow 20 million, outflow 20 million, retaining money, none. Now, it's not like I was saving money somewhere. Everything was going to trading. I was losing it. This was back in 2022. I didn't know what I was doing. No technical analysis, no nothing, nothing. I just wake up and I feel like market is going to be bullish today. I'll use 20x leverage and I'll press long on Binance. Okay, I feel like market is going to sell today. 20x leverage, I'll press short on Binance because it was crypto trading. Then around April of 2022, one of his name is Chima, my neighbor back in uni, in my lodge, he said he was a good trader. He used to make money from investing in shitcoins and the rest. He said he got this book, Candlestick Bible, and then he wants me to read it. That the thing is nice. So okay, no problem. I took the book from him and I read it. I read the book, Candlestick Bible. I read it like about 5 times. Now, mind you, while reading all these things, I've never traded. Did not trade the demo account. I had constant availability of funds, but I did not have constant availability of retainable funds. I always had money, but I was always losing the money to the point that they felt like I was reckless. They thought I was. My mom thought I was spending because I used to tell my people like, okay, I'm making this because I always try and send money back home every single month. There's no month that I don't send money to my people. In fact, from when I started working, student level, I started paying bills. So they knew that okay, I could send money back home. But my whole thing was as long as I've paid the bills of everyone close to me, I can have zero naira in my account and I'm going to be okay. That was my mentality then. So they felt like if I could send them 100K, 200K as of 2021, obviously, because my mom's salary was less than that. So obviously they feel like, oh, I'm making money. So they're now concerned about where the money that I make, where the money is going to, because they felt like at the end of every month, I don't really have returnable income, but I was making money. But everything was going to trading. I lost a lot of money. Do you understand? The first bulk money I lost was $10,000. I lost a lot more down the. So as I was losing to trading, I was learning from the losses. Now my mind was already getting a bit stoic to the point where the losses no longer affected me. It just felt like, oh, one of the same thing again. I will lose money, lose money, lose money. Same thing. I didn't take it seriously. It was basically the addiction part of trading. Oh, let me just. In fact, I was funding to trade without actually having any profit in mind of what I just knew that. Oh, I'm addicted to this thing. Let me just put it and trade because you know how betting is there's a very thin line between trading and gambling. Once you stop trading with a plan, once you don't have a plan to your trades and everything, you are already gambling. Even if your plan is to risk 50% of your accounts and you trade and you risk that 50%, you preconceived it, you are still trading, you're not gambling. So that's why I say percentage risk does not matter. It does not make you a gambler, even if you risk high percentage. As long as you preconceive that you planned it beforehand, you are still a trader. But the moment you enter and you risk 1% on an account where you don't even have a plan of risking, you're gambling the setup because there was no plan on that trade. Do you understand? So that was how the whole 2022 ended. No money retained. My yearly statement was over $100,000. Like my inflow on my account was over. Well, back this is 20. I'm talking about 2022. 2022. You check the dollar rate. I had over 100 million naira inflow, and I had over 100 million naira outflow. I don't think dollar was up to 600 then. So that was basically making about $200,000 in a year as of back then, 2022. But losing almost everything to trading. The important thing was I feed. I don't cook in school. I always send money to my loved ones and my friends and my other things. But at the end of the month, as long as everyone is happy, I felt like I was happy. But I said, this is not really what I want for myself. I don't want to move forward with this kind of mentality of everyone's happiness over mine. I have to actually think about myself and I need to actually return money. So I left Forex trading. I no prior to that, I was trading crypto. I was learning and trading crypto, but and I got robbed in school. Now, why I said some things that I do or come from experiences. Every every experience that life teaches me, I learn a lesson from it, and then I make a decree on something I can never go back on. I don't manage accounts for people. I stopped giving signals. I don't teach beginners, and I don't. The reason why I don't do a lot of things is because what life the kind of issues I faced. I was managing an account for someone trading crypto with a signal, and then I got robbed in the school. Like armed people now. They came to our school back then in Uli. They broke into my flat, into our school, this thing with guns. There were about two or three. And then they cleared everything, my laptop, my phone, everything. There were about 3 phones or 4 phones taken, my laptops, everything. And then the people I was managing accounts for, I lost their money because I could not close out the positions. And then when I went back home, I had to go deep into my savings that I had. This First Bank Kiddies account, we used to put money in the account every month, 2,000, 3,000. So I had savings there. When I came back home, I took the money out and then bought a new phone, logged into my Binance, all the money was wiped out. When I came, the only concern for those people was the money I was managing for them. What happened to me was not really their problem. So I said, I paid everybody the money, but I said, I'm never going to manage another account for anyone again, except I really want to do it to benefit me because I was only to benefit them. Do you understand? So when this was back in 2022, so after that, there was a time that Luna coin crashed, the same 2022. So I deposited about $50 and I sold Luna, and I was able to make about $300 from it. That was how I bought the laptop I started using to trade back. So when I got that laptop around September of 2022, I said I want to take my life very serious and I want to stop programming very soon. So there was a friend of mine, his name is Crypto Twist. He traded synthetics. So he told me that he trades Forex and it's better than crypto and everything. I said, okay, no problem. I'm a very intelligent person. So before I got into it, I had to go to YouTube and I never had a mentor. Like I said, I never learned from anybody. I learned from the constant losses I made. And that was why I don't really allow losses get to me. I can lose $200,000. In fact, like I'm saying, I can lose. I've lost constant 50K, 40K in a day. Doesn't really affect my sleep it off and I wake up. It's not like I don't value the money. It's just that I learned through losses. And learning through losses means you get acquainted to losing money and you can easily just overcome it. You don't really place that kind of value on. You should place value on money, just that it should not be the end of the world once you lose money. You should not keep relying on the money that you lost. Just move forward and make new one. Do you understand? So when I started 2023, that was when I now got introduced to Forex trading. My first ever trade I placed was February of 2023. My first ever trade I placed on MT5 and everything. The only knowledge I had from crypto was candlestick Bible, support and resistance. So 2023, I got acquainted with everything. The laptop I bought in September, I put it to good use. And then I started learning how to trade. Now, because I lost a lot of money getting into trading. All the money that I was making from trading, $500, $1,000, didn't really seem like a lot to me. So when I make 1K, the next week I want to scale up to 2K, 3K. In fact, I started trading 2023 January, February, the first time I placed a trade on MT5. Around September, I was already making $2,000. Like my weekly profit was about $2,000 or $1,500. I have screenshots and I'll probably drop it later on. So it took me about 8 months and as I was losing, my only thing was I was learning through losses. You don't apologize to the market. Each loss you make, you learn from it by losing money. So simply because I don't want to keep losing money doing the same thing over and over again, I have to always advance myself. I have to learn from each loss that I take. So when I lose from buying at this level, I have to find out why I should not buy at this level. I never had anyone to teach me how to trade. I never watched YouTube videos on ICT, SMC, and that's why I don't call what I trade SMC or ICT because I learned from market experience. I didn't used to call the zone I entered from other blocks or breaker blocks. I could teach you those things and then identify what the zones, but I didn't know what they were called. It was my friend Anton that started telling me like this is what it's called, this is what it's called, and I had to know the names of what I call these things now. But I just knew how to trade the diagram of it and explain how I traded it because I didn't learn from anyone. So the whole thing is that right from time I always had plans. Even back when I was trading the crypto, I had plans of how I was going to scale up. If I show you my screenshots as of 2021, I already had a plan of how to trade $100,000 account. Once I got introduced to knowing what trading was, and I knew that you need capital, my first thing was I need $100,000 to trade, and if I reach 10%, I will make this amount of money. That was anything on my mind then. So I had those plans. If I make $200,000 now, I know what next to do. If I deposit $100,000 and I lose 3 trades in a row, it's not going to surprise me. I already have a screenshot. I have a note that already planned me losing 3 trades in a row. If I deposit $20,000, $20,000, $50,000, and I lose 2 trades in a row, I have a note written down on what I would do after losing 2 trades in a row. Nothing surprises me. If I make $200,000, I've already preconceived it. I've planned it already, like last year. So nothing actually surprises me in trading. I made my first $10,000 bulk in trading as of October of 2024 last year. I made money to buy my car, 40 million naira. That's my first car, entry car. From the same month, like the same month I made the first 10K, that was the same month I made extra money to buy my first car. That was the same month I made more money to travel, like all those good things, and then scale up the next. Like it was the same month that everything happened. Because I didn't get comfortable in the same spot as the same profit. Now, anyone that sees me, like that saw me around January, would understood the profit I was making. As of February of 2020 of this year, my weekly profit was about $40,000 or 30 something thousand dollars. I have a screenshot. I have something I documented on YouTube where I deposited $2,000. Then I lost about 3 trades. My plan was 4 trades, and towards the fourth one, I was able to make profits and grow the account to 40K and withdrew. That was when I started most of my projects that I'm doing. But someone that knew me as of that February would not actually notice that as of March, I started making $30,000 in one trade. From making $40,000 in a whole week to 30K in one trade, then to now May to $120,000. To do you understand? It took me like I can be up. I can be used to 10K a week this month, and then the next month I'm making 10K in one trade, and the next month 10K is my stop loss, and I'm always going to keep advancing. But the mistake I made was the money became um like I would say I got used to the money, the profits, but I didn't try to make my account size because I didn't try to make my account size relative to that money I was used to. Because before I would trade small accounts to a bigger one, and instead of securing everything and going deep into a trading capital, I focused on making real life investment, which is very good. But I felt like if I focused all the profits I was making to building a large capital size, I would have. Now I'm trying to resonate with you guys now because this is the mistakes everyone make. I'm already a good technical analyst. I'm very, very good. Actually, I know what I can do. You understand? There are only a few people that can even match up to what I do on the charts. I'm not even trying to brag, but I know what I can do on the charts. But the thing is just to make the amount of money you make in real life resonate to how good you are on the charts. So instead of focusing on building my account size, I was spending money, yeah, buying lands, doing that, which is fine. Do you understand? But I feel like as I'm very, very young, I'm 24. I'm not that young, but I mean, in trading, this is my second year. Next year will make it my third year. So this is my second year as a forex trader. My focus should be to build my trading account. If I build my trading account to like 500K, that's personal funds. I don't trade profits or $1 million. Risking 5% of that would make my profits about 300,000. I can literally buy a new house from each profit I make. But now, instead of doing that, I focused on withdrawing every profit, then starting from scratch again. So I can make 50K this week, withdraw the entire 50K. Next week, I'm starting from the small capital to go to 50K again. And then because I no longer value those small capital deposits, I would constantly keep losing those small capitals because I don't really value it. And I wouldn't really see it as me losing anything because to me, it was just small money. Do you understand? So the mistakes that we all make is we get used to like big figures, maybe because you made them by mistake, or maybe you just took a trade and added one lot and you got made that money. You're used to the money, but you're not trying to make your account size into something that would be easy for you to make that money that you're now used to. I can make $100,000 per trade if I'm trading if I'm trading a 500K account and I risk 10%, that is 50K. If I risk 5%, that is 25K. 25K, 1:5 risk to reward ratios is more than $100,000 profit. But trying to grow from having a $1,000 account to making 100K basically is harder. But it means you can get it one or two times and you get used to the money. But if you don't make your account size to give you that profit easily, you're going to be stuck in one position because you now know what you are like in terms of what you know what you are worth. Just like being a graduate in school, you know how the salary is supposed to be paid, but you don't have that salary yet. But you know you're going to get it. If you don't get your account size to a point where making those figures you know you deserve and the figures you know you're supposed to be making, you're going to be stuck and stagnant in one particular spot for an extensive period of time. So that was one of the mistakes I made. I was used to 100K. In fact, it seemed like nothing. I was used to 50K, but get to build my account to a point where making 50K would be basically me risking a small percentage of my capital. I was worth more than that, a lot more. But it was okay, stakings, buy this, build this, build this, build that. At the end of the day, I have a lot of stuff that I built, but I didn't focus that on my trading accounts. And once I figured out that was my mistake, started working on it. Started trying to scale up. And during the process of doing that, I forgot some things that I was doing that helped myself. I don't lose if I can take three trades in a row and win all three trades, or lose one or lose two. But at the end of each three trades, I'll always come out profitable. I stopped that because I had a plan of trying to get to the capital size I wanted. I could take 10 trades in a week. I can win three. The first three, it was so easy for me to get. I can be targeting six figures like 200K. I can get to 60K or 80K or 100K. But because I've not gotten to that account size I was looking for, instead of making a withdrawal that I would normally make after every three trades, I kept trading the account until I lost everything. Then I checked. I have this target that I'm looking for. I couldn't get it once, but with the way I used to trade before and do everything that made me profitable, if I actually stuck that way and made a withdrawal after every three trades, withdrawing twice would have given me that 200K that I was looking for. Instead, I wanted to get it once, which so that is very, very good that you have a plan on how you trade. The plan, I don't play with it. Even though you see me risk 40% today, trust me, that 40% was planned last 3 months. I don't take any trade that I didn't plan. There's no TP that I'll hit today that was not planned. There's no loss that I'll hit today that was not planned. In fact, if I lose my entire account today, I planned, except maybe I deviate and then have like issues due to psychology. But if I lose anything I lose, trust me, I planned and then I knew that if I do this and then I lose up to this, I'm going to lose this account. And I'm